Okay, so let's try something to record about how to date being over 50. Being over 50 and being a single mom, minimum of one child. I read one comment where a woman says that she found out that there are no values, and returning to dating scene, she was finding very disappointing. And it's partially very true. Uh, Actually, it's very true because dating compared to what it used to be 20 years ago is different what it is now. People want instant click, instant happiness, instant, like everything, like microwave time, cook everything quickly and just live a happy ever after life. It doesn't happen like this. And what I would like to suggest, what I live myself by, is finding your own happiness to begin with. Because if you're happy yourself, your energy levels will be higher. You will be very attractive in a way that, when you meet your second half, because your second half, will look at you and say, wow, she's really happy. She's really got her life together, even though she's a single mom. And maybe your children are already grown up, maybe still one in the house or two in the house, and maybe they are teenagers if you are over 50, or maybe only under 10 years old. It doesn't matter what age is. What matters that you would learn to be happy. Find your happiness in everyday activities. When you go to job, obviously you want cuddle, you want sex and everything. If a woman wants, she can find sex, but if a woman doesn't want to sleep with anybody apart from her future partner, she can withhold and wait for him. But again, there's no guarantee that you will meet him. There's no guarantee unless you settle for less. And that's the danger of settling for less. Understanding your age, understanding how you look, if you're chubby, if you're not as pretty as maybe, at that age, 50 plus, is the beauty already gone, right? As long you keep yourself in shape, I think that would be beneficial to you. But if you find yourself that being chubby is fine, then be happy in your own skin and don't do anything about it. But in the long run, keeping fit, it will help to feel boost your mental health. It's beneficial overall health wise, and why not to do it? And if you start loving exercising, keeping fit, you might find partner through that. If you join some kind of club, maybe walking club, maybe any other club that you would be interested in that. Go to theater if you never do things maybe you never done, you never tried, and see whether you like it. Try to find your happiness in everyday activities. You have to create some kind of your own world and find your happiness. Because if you meet a man and let's say you are an ordinary woman with an ordinary job, and you met an average ordinary man, what you should be looking is to begin. Actually, you should begin with yourself. As I already said many times, you should know your values. What's important to you? What you should get in a relationship. When it comes to raising boys, when it comes to serving, right? You ask something. Let's say you're asking your partner, honey, can you go to the shop and get this? And he's sitting after work and and watching telly. but nothing important. And he says, no, just I don't feel like, just go and get yourself. I don't think so that a man would do that, but people doing day in, day out that. That's why people falling out over little things. So if you decide when it comes to service, meaning serving each other's needs, whether it comes to sex, whether it comes to going to the shop, doing this or helping or mopping or whatever, you have to agree, both of you, that this is the agreement we're gonna like agree on. We always say yes if we can. If we can't, physically can't do it for some reason, whatever, then we say, can I do in half an hour? If in half an hour you can do it, that means you re-ask and say, can I do it later? If she says or he says, can you do it now? If you can, you do it. If you can't, you say, I can't really do it. Can you do it yourself? So that's the only way you can say no. If you agree both doing that, you will eliminate a million problems right away. Right away. Because a lot of people don't do that. But if you agree that you're going to do for each other, when it comes to sex, whether you feel like, whether you don't feel like, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be serving each other the same way, whether you feel like or you don't feel like. But when you do kind things to each other, you will feel happier, because you will know that your partner will do exactly the same. You agreed on that and you carry on that. And you say, when that stops, our relationship stops. I'm not gonna live in a different type of relationship. That's how you make it clear that you're not gonna proceed with less than that, what you agree and what you are doing today. So when you agree on that, as I already said, you eliminate million problems. There's not gonna be much to argue about. Now, the flexible areas for a man should never be a household stuff, meaning painting, decorating, putting wallpaper, or choosing the paint for the walls, or this furniture, that furniture, holidays. A man should say, woman should know and allow that also in her mind, that a man can always say the last word and change whatever it is and say, let's do this way. But he must be able to say one or two pointers why he's doing that. But it doesn't matter still, you go ahead and follow him. Don't cause ever problems. If he messes up 1, 2, or 3 times on the same thing, in the same area, then, and your opinion would have been better, and he doesn't listen, it's a problem. But you must agree in the beginning, talk about these things as I talk now, that if he messes up in your opinion, then he should or she should be leaning towards him. You should be capitalizing on each other's strength, because then you're gonna make much better decisions. But because a man has the last word, a woman should understand that she should never argue with him. Never ever argue. Never ever make hard for him to make decision. Give opinion and leave on the table. And that's it. Pick a man that is wise, that you like how he lives, that you like how he thinks. Then it's gonna be easier. And you will not argue over nonsense. Let me check the light, because I don't think so I'm having enough light. Yeah, so that's how important these things are. And because you know as a woman that your partner is more gonna be lean towards you in these easy, flexible areas, whether household, whether holidays, whether wherever you go. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is so crucial to understand the value system for yourself that you choosing and both of you agreeing. Because I would never step into any relationship if I can't agree on my non-negotiables. That, for example, that a woman would never ever raise on a flat ground without, if I never gave her an opportunity or chance or haven't done anything, that she would like maybe stressed out with something, doing things, cooking or whatever, and slightly raise his voice. If I'm asking, I can't find something where something is where it is, and I'm asking, sweetheart, haven't seen where this thing is or whatever, and she answers maybe like a little bit with anger because she's frustrated, she's cooking, she's maybe children in the house. That's why I never permit women to raise voice, and I state very clearly, I warn you once, I warn you twice, if continuous I'll cut relationship off. It doesn't matter at what stage. And I never had ever issue with that, never had. Then service we already talked about. That means you already agreed you're gonna do for each other. There's not gonna be any issues. Free, like flexible areas. I said for a man, he should adopt that attitude. Not like my clients in their 70s. They argue over wallpaper. What wallpaper? What type of wallpaper they're gonna put? With like ornaments and whatever color and stuff like this. Should never happen this. Especially when people live for so long. And that shows they don't know each other. A man doesn't know who he is. I would never argue with that. I just say, I like this. If you like sweetheart that's fine. Because she will be happy, because she feels as well that I listen and I give her leverage as well to do things in our lives. To change, do impact, and to do her input in, whether in the house, whether, sort of like, that her opinion matters basically. That's very important. And as I say, need to create your lifestyle. If you're busy, what do you do? If you work 5 days and you have no free time, children, you're still growing up children in the house, it's not much really you can do. It's just like finding, meditating and getting into sort of like meditation and sitting still. If you believe in God, talk to God, tell how you feel, tell what you want, and just try to put maybe some relaxing music in the background, and just sit and relax. Don't expect anything. Just let the universe do their job. Love your children. Teach them, pass your wisdom, what you learned from this life. Be a role model to them. How do you become a role model? When you say and you do what you say you will do. That the child will see a very clear line that if mother said once or twice, the second time is the last time, because then afterwards gonna happen consequence. It has to happen every time. If you're warned and you say I will do it, and you must do it then. It doesn't matter what you said. Therefore, be careful what you say you're gonna do it, because then you will have to do it. And you must do it, otherwise your words will have no power or impact on your child. Love, speak from heart to heart, and because children easily influenced with love, but also discipline. If the child does something wrong, correct, explain that this is not the way to do it. And if I see you one more time doing it, it will be this and that. Maybe this or that gonna happen, Maybe you slap on the bum so hard that he will find difficult to sit on, and that draw a picture of what you're gonna do. Then for a child easier to picture what's gonna happen if he disobeys what's been asked of him. It's very effective if you stick with that. Because I had one or two girlfriends with children in the past, and I can tell you, I worked with 4 and 5s, 9-year-old, and and 2-year-olds. And it is hard work in the beginning, but once they start seeing the lines, behaviors, whether the shop, whether outside, in the open public area, whether in the house, they start knowing how to behave because you teach them, you explain to them what do you expect, how to do, what is the right thing to do, what is the wrong thing to do. Children ask questions and they don't mind listening. If you're friendly with them, play, but also guide them at the same time. I like when somebody says if you stay on the floor for too long, the child will forget that you're a parent. So don't forget that you're a parent. You play on the floor, but also if you see the child does something wrong, you straight away stop and become an adult. And say, son or sweetheart, this is the last time I want to see this. This is wrong. This should never happen. You should never do it again. If I see it, it's going to be consequence. And this is what's going to happen. Do you understand? This is how you speak to a child. You never shout. You never raise your voice. But you must say firmly what do you want from them. And it works. And it has to happen consequences. Otherwise, if you do it 3 times and one miss, they will get confused and will not listen because they will think that they might get away this time. So yeah, dating is difficult nowadays. Therefore, I don't date. I just live and maintain and continue to improve my happiness. And if I would meet a woman that she would sweep on my feet, and I would fall in love, and she's good character and my type of woman, I don't say that I would not be in a relationship, but I don't think about that because I chose to be single and I like the way it is. I have my freedom. I control my life the way how I want it. And I'm not lacking a company. I have close friends, so I like my time with myself, and that's how I live, and I strive for better life. I have a goal that I'm after. If you don't have a goal, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be depressing, and only work and children at over 50. It's gonna be difficult mentally. Therefore, you need to set either exercise and get in really good shape and really get exercise freak, or get into something else and really give yourself fully and enjoy it and find enjoyment in that. That's very important. Otherwise, it's just, if you meet someone, you want to meet someone like-minded. So if you're doing something and you love it, and you meet that person in whatever, walking club, playing tennis club, or, in a tennis club or whatever, you're going to be enjoying, but not necessarily that this man was good manners, like values. He might like sport, but he's not a good fit for you. But you must be very clear on your values. And on date 1, you must speak about your values and find out what his values are. And most likely he doesn't know. Most men don't know. They know what they don't like, but it's not firm in them. It's like, you walk through the sensor, and if the shop is closed, the alarm set and everything, if you walk straight away, they start beeping. That's what it looks like when a man set in his values, or a woman set in her values. Anything goes wrong, raise the little voice, or if she is, for example, serving, being helpful. If you are not helpful, or helpful today, tomorrow less helpful, will never go through, because she straight away will detect and say, I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't want that, because I'm helpful all the time. If I can, I will do it. If I can't, I will say when, or if I can't at all, impossible to do for me, then I'll say, honey, I can't do it. And And that's how it should be. You should never let through, even through the smallest gap, with minor twisting of your value. No, you must be cruel when it comes to your values. Because if you let through today, through a small gap, tomorrow this gap gonna be bigger. And it's gonna be over time, whether a year or 5 years or 10 years, it's gonna increase. And I like what one person said, whatever you permit will increase in your life. You permit a slight disrespect, slight raised voice, slight not being very helpful, and you say, I will be all right. No. If you're helpful every time, and a person refuses to be helpful because lazy or doesn't want to be helpful, and you're permitting, say, I will be all right. No, you must talk. Because if person doesn't understand this time he or she can get away with that, it's gonna happen more often. But if you stop right there, once, twice, the person will not try the third time, because they will know it's gonna be the end of it, but also they know that you're very serious about your values. It worked in my life. I terminated relationship because I always chose wrong person. That's why when a man thinks with a small head rather than with his head, makes mistakes. That's why since 2018, I don't date anybody. I chose to live for myself, and I really enjoy life. Really enjoy life. Yes, I have my lows. Sometimes I'm really frustrated, and with my sort of like, how can I put, fulfillment, because I can't achieve one goal, and I'm really putting myself down and start doubting myself. But I shake it off. I go to the forest. I realign myself with nature and God, and I talk to God, and I come back with peace, and I again start plodding along, working on my goal, and just doing nothing, just living my life, going to work, coming back, going for a ride, procrastinating on my exercising. That's another thing. Do you think we're all battling with something? We're not perfect. Therefore, don't beat yourself up if you haven't done something, but strive and try to work towards better you, more happier you. Whatever you will put today in yourself, in your mentality, that it would shift. You have to put some kind of information, some kind, give time to yourself if you want to get something out of that. Because every time you spend in meditating, it's going to be beneficial. Every time you spend in exercising, it's going to be beneficial. Every time you're going to meet a nice person, a helpful person, a good friend, you have a life, is a beneficial. But when you come back, don't forget, you have a goal. You want to make your life happier. You're only living for a short time. We are here for a short time. We don't know how long our life will last. A lot of people stashing money everywhere. They're working so hard. I just met yesterday. I was working, and the guy was in a wheelchair, and I said, "What happened to your legs?" He says, "Well, I was." He had a business. A couple of people worked for him. Groundworks. Used to put flagstones on the driveways and other things, and he a lot of times used to be on his knees. And even though he probably had knee pads or whatever they called, safety things, but still his nerves got damaged and he can't walk anymore because he didn't look after himself. Even though he did probably his best, but the job killed his health because he didn't do enough to protect himself. Maybe he overworked, he done too much, and now he's in a wheelchair. Therefore, don't kill your health because of the money. I work only two solid weeks, 2 solid weeks, and 2 weeks I rest. I could work more, but I won't, because it will affect my health in the long run. So I choose to have less, but to have health, rather than to overkill myself today, and 10 years from now, if I will be alive, I will have no health or suffer. So I'd rather make wise decisions today and find ways how I can make money easier way, rather than what I'm doing today. And that's another goal that I'm working on, to change my life for the better. That's what I suggest. If you're not happy with your job, think. Maybe you need to take another course. Over 50. Yes, over 50. Still, you can take another course. Maybe you can turn your job, what you're doing, into a self-employed job. And you provide maybe a service for somebody else. And charge, and get all the profit to yourself. That's why you have a lot to think about. How can you improve your life? If you're not happy with your income, that means you can work on your income. Choose to work on. I chose in 2017 to work on my income. I even didn't know what I will do. I worked in a factory. I didn't earn anything. I hardly survived. And then I said, from today, I'm going to work on my finances. I even didn't know what I will do. Next thing I know, I'm self-employed. I'm working for myself. I'm my own boss. Nobody tells me what to do. I choose when I work and when I don't work. That's how it is. So yeah, remember your values. Your value system is number one thing you need to settle with yourself. And then when you meet another person, you can find out whether that person has a value system. And most likely they won't. But you can help and see whether the person is helpful, whether the person is leaned towards kindness and goodness. Because if you deciding to be helpful and kind, and always speak with respect, never raise your voice, especially being a woman. Doesn't matter, a man as well, but I mean the woman has more power, because when she's helpful, when she's sweet, when she's nice, kind, she has a great influence, especially when she gives an opinion and leaves on the table for a man to decide. Therefore, pick a man that can lead relationship. But if he hasn't got a clue about relationship, how can he lead? How can he lead? So you know about your values. You settled, your non-negotiables, your areas where you're flexible. Now you're asking him, what's your non-negotiables? And I'm telling you, most likely he won't tell you. It's sad, but that's what it is. I look, for example, when I go on Tinder and I look ages between, like, let's say 30 and 40, I'm 46, for example. There's loads of beautiful women, single moms, no kids. A lot of them has children, minimum one. They should be in relationship, but their value is so high, they overrating themselves. Doesn't matter that they're beautiful, because at the end of the day, the character, what is the most important thing. The looks important, very important for a man, but the character is the end result. If she is not helpful, or she is not helpful all the time, or if he is not helpful all the time, only when he feels like, he's a weak man. You should never date him. But you must be yourself consistent in your behavior before you ask of the same behavior from another person. That's what it is. You must be consistent in your behavior. Then I can predict that I will get exactly the same tomorrow. I can dream about you. I can dream that I come back and make love with my woman. She will never say no if she physically is well. I know she will always be helpful because I am helpful. If she will ask, I will do. And it just, that's how it is. You can't get everything in a relationship and leave other person with crumbs. It must be fair. It must be fair. I hope I gave some thoughts for thinking. How can you improve your life? Because a lot of things you can work on: health, fitness, improving, making more, earning more. If you're earning enough, then happy days, good on you. Then you can do with your money more what average person can do. If you're making more than you need, that, with money you can buy happiness or moments, happy moments. And more happy moments you buy, you you creating that environment for yourself that you feel happy. Because I lived when I couldn't afford anything, and I also live where I'm capable of doing things and enjoying life more what I ever done in my life. So it makes a massive difference. If you live from paycheck to paycheck, it's gonna be stressful. It's gonna be very stressful. Therefore, I need to work on finance to improve life, and take a course, whatever it needs to be done, but work on your finance. There's always there is a way how to do it. Maybe you want to become a coach. What type of coach? Well, decide for yourself. Spirituality coach, whatever specific area you want to choose. Maybe you're good at, you want to teach people, whatever it is. And as long there is a demand for that, people will pay for coaching, that you would coach them how to get results in with certain things or whatever. So yeah, I hope I'm helping you in a way. How can you improve your life, and whether you find a man or don't find a man, it doesn't matter. You must be happy today being single. And when you meet a man and he finds that you have a routine, you have things going on in your life, and you're happy and you're sweet and you're nice and helpful. A woman should be sweet and helpful and kind, and don't make hard for a man to date you. What do you mean don't make? Well, if he asks you your phone number and you like him, just buy another SIM card, cheap phone, and give that number. If you like, just give that number to a man. Yeah, ring me. Let's talk. Don't give your personal number if you don't feel comfortable, and that will not cost you a bomb, just to have a cheap phone for 20 or 30 quid and a SIM card. And you only say, I only like take phone calls. I don't message. So talk, hear the voice, how the man sounds and stuff like this, and then you will take it from there. I wish you all the best, and I wish you to find your routine in life, your happiness, things that makes you happy every day, and we'll see where these things will lead you. Hopefully you will meet someone, but you must expose yourself in places where somebody can meet you. Not only online. Online is the quickest way, but it can be very depressing because it's a high numbers which are not suitable for you, and it puts you down. And I myself, like in the past, even used to get depressed. Therefore, mount yourself with patience and just go one person at a time. Read the message, reply. If it doesn't go anywhere, move to another one. And that's it. It's not a big deal if you text a man if you like him. If he doesn't reply, doesn't reply. I know it puts us down, but that's a process. We can't escape that. If you mount yourself with that thought, you should be all right. It still will affect you, but if you keep reminding yourself that this is only a process I have to go through if I want to meet someone, and that's it. Join tennis club, do some other activities. You don't have to have a million activities. Enough one activity that makes you happy. And then another, maybe going to nature, and stuff like this. It's also great. Nature is always great to go in a nature, because you rewire yourself again. Cold. I'm in a camper van sitting by the sea. I'm gonna go out in a minute. We'll have a cup of coffee and enjoy myself. Listen to the music and think what type of video I will create next. But dating today is really sucking because people also not what used to be. We are changing, society are changing. So this is a reality. This is our reality. But if I'm happy, who cares? And I am in control of that. I am not in control who I will meet, but I'm in control. Remember that. You are in control of your life. You are in control of your feelings, and you directly influencing by every decision you make, by every person you meet, by every conversation you uphold and tolerate. If you tolerate negative conversation, depressing conversation, it will affect how you feel. Therefore, disconnect every person from your life that brings negativity. They're not needed in your life. They're not needed in your life. All the best to you.